Well, hey there, friends. Hey, today I have some candy here with me, and I was just thinking, how many of these pieces of candy, if I took them out of the wrapper, do you think that I could put in my mouth at one time? That's sort of a funny question, isn't it? Well, did you ever try to see how many marshmallows you could put in your mouth? Marshmallows are a little softer and you can stuff them in. How many pieces of candy or how many marshmallows do you think I could put in my mouth? What? What'd you say? Some of you said that Milt has a big mouth and he should get a lot in? Oh, come on now. Hey, did you know that my dentist actually told me that I have a very small mouth? So there. Yes. Well, it doesn't matter the size of my mouth. What I want to ask you today is, did you ever hear someone say, "I'm so hungry I could eat a horse"? Did you ever hear someone say that? "I'm so hungry I could eat a horse"? Well, it's a phrase that's used when someone is obviously pretty hungry. Like, someone says, "When will dinner be ready? I'm so hungry I could eat a horse." Or, after that hike, that really hard and tiring hike, "I'm so hungry now I could eat a horse." Well, I'm not sure if we really want to eat a horse. But I want to know how long you have gone without eating, between meals. Maybe a couple hours, maybe, well, overnight. That's usually like 8 hours. So 8 hours while you're sleeping, or 12 hours from dinner till breakfast. And maybe some of you have gone for several days without eating. Sometimes we don't feel well and we lose our appetite and we may not eat as often as we typically do. But I know that you know that food is important, right? We need to eat food. Our bodies need the nutrition, and our bodies usually tell us when it's hungry. Our stomachs growl or we feel a little weak. The body is telling us that it's time to get some food. It's time to get some nutrition. Now, there are people who intentionally don't eat for periods of time. Do you know what that's called? That's right, it's called fasting. And that's a discipline that some people practice, and it can be for their health, or it can be for spiritual reasons that people fast. The Bible talks about people fasting. Even Jesus fasted for a period of time, and that's found in the New Testament. And you might remember that Jesus went out into the wilderness by himself, and there he fasted for 40 days. That's a long time to not eat, isn't it? Did you ever get hangry? Hangry. That's when you are hungry and angry. Yeah, you're frustrated a bit and you're hungry and you just get really irritable, and some people call that hangry, the words hungry and angry combined. When we're hangry, we're not fun to be around, are we? I didn't think so. The Bible has numerous verses that reference hunger. Some passages talk about being hungry for food, and that's a very natural part of our bodies, as we talked about. Some verses tell us to offer food to hungry strangers, and even to our hungry enemies. Some verses tell us to feed the people who are poor. So offering food to hungry people is one way that we can serve God. And in Matthew 5, verse 6, it says this, "Blessed are those who are hungry and thirst for what is right, for they will be filled." So Scripture is telling us that we are to hunger and thirst after righteousness. Now, how do we do that? How can we eat righteousness? We can't even see it. Does this mean we literally eat it, or what does it mean? Well, it means that we take in, we learn, we think about the things that are good and right, and we work at practicing those things and doing those things. To be hungry for God is not wanting to eat God, but it's our desire to learn about God. And to make sure that when we learn about God, we're taking everything we know and letting that be a part of our lives. I hope you like learning about God. I hope that it's a part of you that you can say, "Yes, I am hungry for God. I want to learn more about God's ways. I want to desire to have more with righteousness," as that verse says, "Blessed are those who are hungry and thirst for what is right, for they will be filled." So maybe you can, as you're listening to these videos and as you're reading the Bible on your own, or whenever you're thinking about God, say, "God, I really want to learn more about you. I'm hungry for the ways of God." Well, I hope that's your experience today. And I hope that you have a day that's filled with good food. Eat well, not too much. Don't eat a horse, though, but continue to be hungry for God and His ways, because that is a good thing to do. When we are hungry for God, we also help others and their desire for God as well. So today, I wish you a day that's filled with joy and a day that's filled with peace.